Being a massive Oklahoma Sooner fan, I am obviously a major fan of Baker Mayfield. I actually have a signed college jersey of his behind me on a wall. And I'd like to think most people in this state are still a fan of Baker Mayfield, except those people by Stillwater that we don't really count as football fans. They're there, we just kind of ignore them. But obviously with the Deshaun Watson news and Baker Mayfield demanding a trade, I am curious as to where he is going to go. So I am going to use the most accurate football simulator on the market today, Madden 22. Because as we all know, there is no problem with this game at all, and here are the teams that I am going to be sending Baker to and simulating an entire season to see how he does. I would say this list is in the order of where I think he's most likely to go. The only reason the Eagles are up there is because I'm also a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I like Jalen. We're going to roll with Jalen next season. I'm just curious as to how Baker would do in that offense. So the first place we're going to send him is the Indianapolis Colts, and we're going to see how Baker Mayfield does under Frank Reich. Well, it looks like our first season of this experiment did not go well. The Colts go 6-11. And Baker's final stats, 3,851 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Not a great season, a 6-11 record. Clearly Indianapolis was not the fit. Let's go ahead and move on to Seattle. Now let's see how Baker does with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf at receiver. And in our second season, Baker Mayfield completely flips the script, goes 11-6, and wins the division. Looking at the stats here, he threw for way more yards, only one more touchdown, and still threw 16 interceptions, but now let's see how far he can go in this playoff run. But his season will end in the wildcard round to the San Francisco 49ers, 24-17, as Baker Mayfield, let's look at these stats, goes 31 of 49 for 366, one touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Next on the list, we send him to the Carolina Panthers, so let's see how he does here. And in Carolina, he goes 10-7, and they sneak into a wild card spot. He throws for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Now let's see how long this playoff run can last. And their season will end in Lambeau as they get bounced in overtime, 42-48. And Baker Mayfield, let's see how he played. Actually, far better than he did for Seattle. 30 of 40 for 456, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Just wasn't enough to get by Aaron Rodgers. The next team we send Baker Mayfield to is the New Orleans Saints, who are still led by Sean Payton in this game because you kind of can't fix that. So obviously having Sean Payton is probably a pretty big advantage for Baker here, but they go 12-5 and are the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And Baker has by far his best year, 4,600 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Still a lot of picks, but less than the 15 or 16 he's been throwing. And for the first time in this video, Baker Mayfield will advance past the first round of the playoffs, getting a win over the Niners 34-21, as he does not do a lot. 19 of 25, 213 yards and a touchdown, but gets the win. And the Saints will advance in the playoffs as they take down the Dallas Cowboys 28-26. Baker Mayfield once again doesn't do a whole lot. 21 of 31, 182 yards and a touchdown, but once again, the important part's the win. And under Baker Mayfield, the New Orleans Saints are headed to the Super Bowl, 34-17 over the Packers in the conference championship round. Baker did a little bit more today, 23 of 33, 317 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the New Orleans Saints have won the Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield, and he got Super Bowl MVP. We're gonna have to go look at his stats. In the Super Bowl, Baker Mayfield went 26 of 35, 263 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I would say the Saints experiment was pretty much a massive success. Well, after the successful run with the Saints, it's pretty much only downhill from here unless he can win another Super Bowl. Let's see how he does in New York. This time we missed the playoffs, we go 8-9. We only barely missed the playoffs because the Eagles look like they won the division at 9-8. Statistically, he did take some steps back, 3,900 yards, 23 touchdowns. He did only throw 11 picks, which is his lowest, but still went 8-9 and missed the playoffs. The next spot is the Atlanta Falcons. Now, personally, I don't think he's going to end up here, but they were in the running for Deshaun Watson, so they could still be in the market for a quarterback. Atlanta does not pan out. They finished 7-10 and obviously missed the playoffs. Mayfield does end with one of his best seasons here though, 4,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. So the next spot is the Detroit Lions. So let's see how Baker Mayfield does under Dan Campbell. And they finished 6-11, obviously missing the playoffs. Mayfield's final stats on the year, 4,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. We are now on to the teams that I really doubt he goes to. The Jets, I think, have pretty much a 0% chance of trading for him. They're obviously going to keep rolling with Zach Wilson. I was just curious as to what Madden would do with this. And the Jets finished 10-7, winning the division, so there will be a playoff run here with the Jets. Mayfield's regular season stats: 4,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. And the Jets will continue on in this season as they take down the Raiders 20-17. Let's see how Baker played. Baker goes 20 of 31, 288 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And the wildest thing in this playoff is the 2 seed and the 3 seed both lost, so the Jets get a home game in the divisional round as a 4 seed. Our experiment with the Jets ends there in the divisional round as the Chargers put up 23 points in the fourth quarter to bounce the Jets 33-14. In that game, Baker goes 20 of 33 for 254 yards, 1 touchdown. Herbert throws 3 picks and they still get out of there with a win. The next spot we're going to send Baker Mayfield is the Houston Texans. The reasons I don't think he's really going to end up in Houston though is because 1, the Browns apparently don't want to trade Baker within the conference, and 2, if he was going to be traded to Houston, I feel like it would have been part of the package for Deshaun Watson. This season finishes 8-9, so obviously the Texans will not be going to the playoffs. Stat-wise though, Baker didn't play bad. 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Yeah, 11 picks is still a bit, but also I think that's the lowest he's thrown in a single season in this video. The next team we are sending Baker to is the Philadelphia Eagles, who are my favorite team, and I highly doubt we will trade for Baker. I wouldn't mind it. I still like Jalen though, but yeah, I highly doubt we're going to get him, but let's see how Madden says it would go. There will not be a playoff run with the Eagles as they finish 8-9 and miss the playoffs. And Baker finishes with 4,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. The last team I'm going to send Baker Mayfield to is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The reason I think this is the least likely team to get him that sort of needs a quarterback is because they don't want to trade him within the conference, so they're damn sure not going to trade him within the division. But putting that aside, let's see how he does in Pittsburgh. So for our final team here, we will get a playoff run as the Steelers win the division at 10-7. And Baker's final stats are almost 4,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. But now let's see how far this playoff run can go. So apparently 10-7 was good enough for the second seed. We have taken down the Cincinnati Bengals 21-10. And in that game, Baker went 18 of 28 for 249 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. But sadly, the season will end in the divisional round as we fall to Buffalo 31-17. Baker's final stats: 24 of 39, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That is going to wrap up my Baker Mayfield experiment, I guess. Let me know where you guys think he's going to go in real life. Let me know where you think his best season was in this. I'm pretty sure it's no contest that it was the Saints. It's kind of hard to top going 12-5 and winning a Super Bowl. But hopefully you guys found this video entertaining. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time.